CBC News has learned that the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is investigating a Natrel milk facility in Quebec after complaints from consumers. We heard from dozens of people complaining about Natrel milk purchased over the last few weeks, tasting off well before its expiry date. That story, by the way, is up on our website, cbc.ca/Montreal. So far, Natrel has not returned any of our repeated calls. The inspection agency confirms inspectors are following up with the facility, reviewing records and procedures. When you buy eggs at the grocery store, you're often faced with a lot of choice. Free run, free range, or cheaper regular eggs. The Montreal SPCA says those labels aren't regulated or enforced and is calling on the federal government to change that. Tanya Birkbeck has more.
Many consumers are willing to pay extra for eggs labeled free run or free range. But the SPCA says there's nothing to guarantee you get what you're paying for.
Labels like free range, free run aren't regulated. You don't have to follow any specific standards in order to label your eggs like this. And you don't have to, there's no one verifying how your chickens are being housed.
The SPCA is calling on the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to regulate the terms free run and free range. And they want eggs that are produced by hens that live in cages to be marked as such.
Consumers, once they know that the eggs are produced from caged hens, are more and more likely to ask for the alternative type of eggs. So it does have a real impact on farm animal welfare.
But not everyone agrees that free range or free run is always better. Egg producers say all the factors that go into making happy and healthy chickens aren't always easy to boil down into one label. For example, chickens like this one, who sometimes go outside, actually have a higher mortality rate than chickens who never see the light of day.
As human beings, we feel, yeah, well, sure, I like to be outdoors, but when you look at the welfare of the bird, it's way more complicated than that.
Last year, the Quebec Egg Producers Association launched an online tool. It allows consumers to trace the origin of each egg using a code. The association says traceability improves the health and safety of the consumer and the chickens. But the SPCA says as long as there are hens living in cages, the eggs aren't ethical. Tanya Birkbeck, CBC News, Montreal.
Coming up, so far.